pleasant good morning, good afternoon. What are we? We're in the afternoon now, 12:03 Central Time here from the Hinkle Holiday Classic. This is game number 19, featuring Cary-Grove will be the home team on the scoreboard, and the Zion-Benton ZBs, they call them, will be the visitors. The Cary-Grove Trojans coming to this one 2-9, 0-2 in tournament play here at the Hinkle Holiday Classic. Zion-Benton, on the other hand, they are 5-1 on the season and 2-0 in the tournament. So a fresh 8 minutes up on the clock. Should be an exciting one. Keep your eyes peeled on Deshaun Wilson. Wears number 0 for Zion-Benton. Extreme quickness, had 14 points in the opening day, and a great game against Marion Central. If you were around for the finish of that one, our last game, you're going to want to find that one on YouTube. In the jump circle we go, tip controlled by the ZBs. Deshaun Wilson will handle the basketball for his guys. Fling it far side to DeMarquise. Bounce pass goes down to Keenan Baltimore, out to the outside, picking up the feet and traveling is Jalen Ray. DeMarquise Henry. Where's number 11? Had 15 in the opening game for his team against Marion Central back on Saturday. Quick pass up the floor is Cary-Grove, and the Trojans set things up on that half. That pass stolen by Wilson. Official says Wilson stepped out of play as he was trying to save it. So just 30 seconds or so in the books here, 7:31 in the first quarter. Cary-Grove Trojans looking for their first tournament win. Zion-Benton looking to extend their winning streak in this tournament to 3 games should they win this one here this afternoon. Early in the afternoon, by the way, we are in Algonquin, Illinois, here at Jacobs High School. It is the Hinkle Holiday Classic, sponsored by Meyer. Far side. Swing it back around this play. Nice spin move there by Selski, and a left-handed 3 from the corner is good. And that's how the scoring is going to start here this afternoon. Dan Schmidt had 11 points last Saturday. Wilson tries to answer. That one's no good. And the rebound is taken down by Chris Walther. Quickly moving up the floor now are those Trojans. Down in the corner again to Schmidt. Get it back up top to Jimmy Clark. Now down on the far side, and a quick pass in the post to Dan Schmidt. Schmidt drains it. That one's good. 5-0 advantage Trojans. Now, I mentioned in the last game some of the teams we see with their win and loss marks in this tournament. Try not to pay attention to that too much, as Baltimore is fouled on his way to the basket. He's going to get 2 with an opportunity for the and 1. But a team like Cary-Grove, who's 2-9, playing a lot better, at least in my opinion, than that record would indicate. And there's a couple other teams that have near 500 records, either 1 game above or 1 game below, who also have been pretty impressive in the tournament. So I try not to put too much stock in those records in these holiday tournaments as Baltimore converts the 3-point play. As we said, he had 14 on Saturday. Didn't get a chance to see these guys play yesterday, so I don't have any point totals for you. But he's got 3 here so far today. A lot good pressure applied by the ZBs. Zion-Benton, by the way, wearing maroon and white. Your Cary-Grove Trojans wearing the white and navy blue. Clark thought about a long 3, gives it up to Locke. Locke over far side, Schmidt. Schmidt with it, skip pass cross court, and back in the hands of Locke. Locke with it, dribbling into traffic. He's met by Henry, and a bounce pass off the shins of Schmidt. Say that a few times real quick. Down back in the corner again it is to Locke. Schmidt with it. He'll shoot it with his left hand. He's tied up. It's going to be a jump ball, but the arrow says it's going to remain in possession of Cary-Grove. 5:51, low-scoring affair so far. 5-3 in favor of Cary-Grove, listed as the home team on our scoreboard. Both of these teams obviously playing on the road in this Hinkle Holiday Classic. Cary-Grove closer than Zion-Benton, travel-wise. Some of the teams coming from further out would include Rockford, Jefferson, Corliss from the city. Zion-Benton's a little bit further up north, as is Johnsburg High School. Johnsburg played the late game last night and then snapped around and played the early one here at 9 a.m. this morning. Coach told us that some of the guys wouldn't have got home until about 10:30 or 11. Then had to get back to the school in the 6s this morning to make the trip here to get here by 9. Ball goes out of play, stoppage of the clock, 5:26. Inbounding now finding Schmidt, and then a handoff to Jimmy Clark, puts it off the glass. High off the glass, by the way, no good. Henry gave it up to Wilson. Wilson, strong move in, lost the handle on it, and he's called with a travel violation. Looking for a whistle with the foul, however. The official says, no, you did travel before that happened. Hard for us to tell up here, as Wilson dribbled into traffic. 5:10 first quarter. Game 3 of the day. Game 19 of the tournament. Up the floor, giving it away to Jalen Ray, who comes up with the steal. Wilson going to take it in through traffic, gets it off the glass. It's no good. And a blocking foul down on the floor in the act of shooting, so that's going to send Wilson to the line for his first trip. Get a nice shot there of Wilson as he eyes it and lets it fly. The first one is good. Deshaun, as we mentioned, had 14 last Saturday, opening day of this tournament, back on December 19th. Deshaun Wilson now with his second look, coming right at you. That one bounces around, it's no good. Loose ball down on the floor, covered by Cary-Grove and Zion-Benton. Both players spinning to an eventual halt. And the possession arrow on the jump ball says it's going to stay over here for the ZBs. Zion-Benton again wearing the maroon and white. Cary-Grove in the white and navy blue. Henry starts things off, gets it back, shoots a three, and it's good. DeMarquise Henry drains his first three-point attempt. Puts his team up 7-5. Get it down in the corner, trying to swing it around. Quick jump move and a finish into the lane. Nice move there for Cary-Grove and number 21, Alex Baer. Strong move by Josh Sobecki. Get him in the scoring column. He's the fourth ZB to score. Adam Locke dribbling around. Bounce pass now into post play. And it is Schmidt up with the left hand, and that one is good. Dan Schmidt, by the way, has got 7 points. And an offensive foul goes against Zion-Benton. Just the first team foul here in the first quarter. 3:54 left on the clock. And our score is tied 9 apiece. Bounce pass, get it into Locke. He's going to find Selski. Selski's going to get it across half court, looking down in the corner, finds a man, three-point attempt on the way. Bounces around, it's no good. And here come the ZBs. Here's Wilson. Can dribble without looking, has great court awareness. Finds Baltimore. Baltimore no good. And the rebound ripped down again by Jimmy Clark. Jimmy Clark is fouled as it was DeMarquise Henry stepping in and rattling him around a little bit. Jimmy Clark will toss it in for his guys wearing the solid white and navy jerseys. Looks like a couple of substitutions going to come our way here in just a second. Up with the left hand again is Dan Schmidt. Schmidt putting together most of the scoring in this quarter, all but 2 points for him. And a three on the way is good for the ZBs. That's Rod Henry Hayes with that one. And we've got a whistle. And a timeout is called. 30-second timeout called by Cary-Grove. Cary-Grove, the home team on the scoreboard here. They are chasing one. 12-11 the score, 3:10. Cary-Grove, their overall record 2-9, pretty deceiving, at least in my opinion. They've got some guys that can score, and Dan Schmidt right now is doing most of it, as he has got 9 points in the first quarter. See if we can identify some of the substitutions that came in for Cary-Grove. Number 11, Zach Beaugereau, has checked into the game. Beaugereau listed at 6 foot and just a junior. Cary-Grove forced to call another timeout and a save from the bench as they were having some issues inbounding the ball. So another 30-second timeout called for the Cary-Grove Trojans. Coach Ralph Schutzel listed as the head coach for Cary-Grove. Don Cloth listed as the head coach for the Zion-Benton Zeebies. 3 minutes here in the first quarter. Thanks for being aboard on this, the Hinkle Holiday Classic. Ben Erickson bringing you all the play-by-play action. I'll give way to Alec Giannakopoulos. And then later tonight for the 2 night games, the Elgin Sports Hall of Famer Jeff Myers, well known in this region for all his broadcasting detail, both on radio and television, will be here to bring you the late games tonight, which will feature the Golden Eagles from Jacobs, the home team, playing in that 7:30 slot. Jacobs yet to lose a game in the tournament. Adam Locke gets it across half court. Left to right they go. The guys in the white and navy. Locke, no-look pass. Gets it to Schmidt. That one goes. Schmidt putting together a nice quarter here. He's got 11. Baltimore with it. Gonna look in, see if he can get one away. He does. Off the glass. Can't get it to go. Rebound taken down by Baltimore. Another strong move. Still can't draw the foul. Last touched and kicked out of bounds by Beaugereau. Zeebies are going to stack it up now and see what they can put together. What a play right there. You saw that earlier in the day. Got to have some awareness. Keenan Baltimore bounced it off one of the Trojans who wasn't looking, got his own deflection, then put it up. That's 5 points for Keenan Baltimore. Nice savvy play right there, taking advantage of one of the defenders who may not be covering him but wasn't looking at the ball either. Chris Walther steps in, gets it around to Locke. Locke, top of the key extended. Locke picks up the dribble, looking to get it away to somebody. Schmidt's got it now. Schmidt dribbles with the left, gets it back. He's in the post now, double teamed. Back to Schmidt, a lot of back and forth. Last touch by Cary-Grove. The Zeebies are going to have it now, and we've got a substitution for Zion-Benton in Nick Bradley coming into the game. Nick, they've got listed at 5'10", 155-pound senior. Don't believe I had a chance to see him in the first game that I covered on Saturday, so this will be our first look at Bradley, at least for me. Wilson with it, gonna use some of that speed, gets baseline, draws the foul, he's going to the line for 2. That's one of the things he brings to the table. He's so quick, and by the time you pick him up, you're usually on the side or behind him. And I'm guessing 9 out of 10 times that probably results in a foul, and that's gonna send Wilson to the line. Wilson 1 for 2 from the free throw line this afternoon. First one is good. He's now 2 for 3. Substitutions now for Cary-Grove. 42, Randy Basdor has checked in. That'll add some size for CG. Let you know who else is down there in just a second. Quinn Selski has checked back in there as well. Walther and Clark on the floor, as is Basdor, who we already mentioned. That one's taken away by Wilson. They'll push it up the floor quickly. Gets an alley-oop type style pass and puts it down. How about that? The jam by Cortez Sawyer. That'll be a definite highlight right there. Cortez Sawyer with the nice ups, called for it with the left hand and puts it down with both hands. He's got 2. 17-13, the Zeebies with the lead. Off the alley-oop style pass from Wilson to Cortez Sawyer. Wilson's gonna take a seat, as is Baltimore. Let you know what new faces are in there for Zion-Benton. Nick Bradley's still on the floor. Cortez Sawyer's down there. Big number 40, Josh Sobecki, who was a starter's down there. He gets the rebound, by the way. And here come the maroon and white again. Rod Henry Hayes out there, wears number 10. Bounce pass is deflected away to Sawyer. Sobecki with it now. Kick it back out to Nick Bradley. There's a whistle and a foul. Gonna be down on the floor, 49.2 seconds left here. Zion-Benton 17, Cary-Grove 13. Take a look at the dunk here in just a moment. It's a nice alley-oop style pass. And we see it, Wilson putting it up, And Sawyer finishing it on the back end. 19-13, the ZBs with the lead. Up by 6 over Cary-Grove. Basdor in trouble. 2 men on him right now. That's got to leave somebody open. Unfortunately, it left Cortez Sawyer wide open. No look pass, up off the glass with a strong move is Rod Henry Hayes. Extending the lead now, 21-13. This is kind of what happened to Cary-Grove yesterday when I saw them. They show flashes of great play. That one is taken away, and another bounce pass up the floor to DeMarquise Henry. He is fouled, and he's going to go to the line for 2. Zion-Benton team is showing some exciting play here. First dunk we've seen in this tournament. Coming off the alley-oop, Wilson to Sawyer. Marquise, his first shot off from the line is good. He's got 4. Substitution now as Chris Walther checks out. Dan Schmidt has checked in. And again, he's carried the team scoring-wise. He's got 11 points. That next one by DeMarquise Henry is good from way back to finish the quarter as time expires, and making our way into the second quarter. It's those ZBs from Zion-Benton, already with 2 wins in the tournament, 23. Cary-Grove, no wins in this tournament, 13. Let's add up, do some of the scoring. We'll be back in just a second to update you before we get the fresh 8 on the clock for the exciting second quarter. All right, you're scoring now. First for Cary-Grove, it's Dan Schmidt with 11. Alex Baer contributing 2. That gives them 13. And for these ZBs that have that 10-point lead, it's Deshaun Wilson with 2, DeMarquise Henry with 5, Keenan Baltimore with 5, Josh Sobecki with 2, Rod Henry Hayes with 2, and Cortez Sawyer with the highlight alley-oop dunk finish has got 2. 23-13, 10-point advantage. A fresh 8 minutes put back up on the clock, and an emphatic between-quarter speech from the Cary-Grove coaches pleading with their team to stick with what they prepared to do. Let's see if that makes any difference here as we get into the second quarter of play. 8 minutes left to go here in the first half. 2 games already in the books this afternoon. As Cary-Grove looks to inbound, they do in the backcourt. Selski's got it above the head, going to bring it across half court. High pick applied, nothing doing there. Selski looking for help, finds it. Back up top, Danny Clark has checked in. As that one is taken away, and here come those ZBs. Jalen Ray, strong move. Wilson here near side. Jalen Ray backs it off down into the corner again as they reset. Wilson backs it off, wants to see things go a little bit differently this trip. Okay, it's going to be a travel as Keenan Baltimore had the wide open look. I think he got a little excited at how open he was and simply picked up the feet, took one too many steps. Basdor in to help things out here in inbound. Randy they've got listed as a 6'6" senior for Cary-Grove. Alex Baer's looking to check into this one as he kneels at the scorer's table, as does John Walsh, and a mystery man who ducked down before I could get his number. 23-13, a three-pointer on the way by Schmidt. That one was no good. Schmidt leads his team in scoring with 11. Wilson, no look pass to Baltimore. Baltimore picked up by 2 bodies by Basdor and Schmidt into the lane. So Becky, does he get it up enough? No, no good. Basdor tears down the rebound. Looking to push it up the floor now, Quinn Selski. Selski gets into the lane, then promptly dribbles out for 3 in the corner. That one rattles around, and it is no good. That three-point attempt by Zach Beaugereau. Wilson with it. Likes to do a lot of no-look passes, then he quickly penetrates in. The ball swatted away, nothing doing that time, as Selski ends up with it. Basdor tries to apply a moving pick and have some trouble getting across. Basdor's got to get across. He finally does. About 7 seconds into the referee's count. Schmidt up with the left, strong off the glass, no good, unable to get the rebound, but Baltimore comes up with it. Dribbles with the left, pushing it up the floor to Ray, now to Wilson. Wilson dribbles, baseline, reverse layup, it's good. Nice move there by Deshaun Wilson. Has the ability to look like he's in fast forward while everyone else looks like they're playing in real time. You can teach players offense, you can teach them how to shoot, you cannot teach them to be bullet fast like Deshaun Wilson is. And to my surprise, when I ran into one of the coaches in the hallway yesterday, he is uncommitted right now. Man, would he be a nice piece to a college team somewhere, a guy that can move the ball like that and has all the speed in the world. 25-13, Zion-Benton with the lead. Some new faces into the game. John Walsh is out there for Cary-Grove. Walsh with it now. Alex Bear also on the floor, as is Danny Clark. That one nearly taken away. Schmidt still out there. He's got the hottest hand scoring-wise for Cary-Grove, and we've got a foul off the dribble as Baltimore reaches in on Dan Schmidt. 25-13, 12-point advantage for Zion-Benton. Handling things now in the backcourt as John Walsh brings it across. We're in forecourt now. Schmidt with it. Gonna pop a three from the corner. Rattles around, can't get it, but nearly putting in the rebound inadvertently was Jalen Ray. And with the whistle and a foul, it's gonna come back the other direction. Ray tipped that one up in the air and it almost got to drop off that three-point attempt by Dan Schmidt. Schmidt still sitting with 11 points. Alex Bear with 2. Cary-Grove yet to score in this quarter. Deshaun Wilson with it now. Dribbles in with the right, gets it up. Count it! Wilson gonna go to the line. Might have taken a shot to the face as he came through, but at any rate, Deshaun Wilson has got 4 points now, and he's gonna try to make it 5, extending the lead 27-13 over Cary-Grove. Deshaun lets it go. He's 3 of 4 from the line today. And the lead extended now 28-13. 4:50 running clock here in the first quarter. Post play, nothing doing down there. Alex Bear kicks it back out. Wilson tries to get in with the steal off John Walsh, nothing doing. That's the other thing that he can do pretty effectively because he's so darn quick. He can get around the backside of a lot of guys and swat that ball away and either tip it to himself or tip it to another player. So Becky and Ray check out. DeMarquise Henry is in there, as is Wilson still. Baltimore also on the floor. And Anthony Davidson has also checked in for the ZBs. Baltimore commits another foul, team 6th. Cary-Grove trying to inbound now. They finally kick it out to Jimmy Clark, who's got it beyond the arc. Hands off to John Walsh, who nearly has that one picked away by guess who? Deshaun Wilson Jr. 4:20 in the first half, so Becky, who had just checked out, is going to check back into this one as Baltimore picking up a couple of quick fouls in this quarter. Coach would like to have him for the stretch if there ends up being one in this game. Schmidt with it. Gets it to Jimmy Clark. Jimmy Clark, get it over to Alex Bear. Miss right there, another alley-oop, puts it in. That's the second time that's happened today. Same guy too, Cortez Sawyer with the jam. It's almost like they've worked on that. Why not? It's worked, 2 for 2. Cortez Sawyer with the ups and he puts it down. That one better than the first. Schmidt with the putback and it's good. Schmidt with 13. Alex Bear with 2. Schmidt's got all but 2 points. Wilson for 3, rattles around, no good. And we've got a foul on one of the ZBs. And the foul goes against Cortez Sawyer, who's had a pair of alley-oop dunks here this afternoon. Well, this free throw goes. Let's take a peek at that second alley-oop dunk by Cortez Sawyer. See DeMarquise Henry flip it up there, and just like clockwork, it goes in. Free throw in live game action goes no good as we click back. Wilson's got it. Wilson is blocked. Just 15 points for Cary-Grove in the first half. It's 30-15. As you see there, Zion-Benton has got the 15-point lead. Nick Bradley is looking to check back in for the Zeebies, and undoubtedly will at the next stoppage of play. Deshaun Wilson eyes it. It's good. Deshaun Wilson has got 8 points. Bradley checks in, as we said, for the maroon and white. Deshaun Wilson's second one as he flicks it. It's good. 9 points for Deshaun Wilson now. Creeps ever so closer to double-figure margin. Cary-Grove dribbling through the man-to-man, and they do across half court. 3:17 running clock. Quinn Selski looks to get it inside. Bounce pass, and the shot off the glass by Jimmy Clark, no good, but Jimmy's going to go to the line for 2. Only 2 Trojan players in the scoring column right now. Dan Schmidt has got 13, and Alex Baer has got 2. Jimmy's first one is good, and he joins his 2 other teammates in the scoring column now with that free throw. Second one rattles around and then drops out. Here comes Wilson, throws it up the floor. It looked like Rod Henry Hayes was going to call for the alley-oop that time, but nothing doing. Wilson takes it in off the glass with the left hand, no good. And Deshaun Wilson Jr. going to head to the line again for his second time in as many trips down the floor. 5 for 6 in free throw attempts is Deshaun Wilson. Where's number 0 for those ZBs? First one is good, make him 6 for 7. He's got 10 points in double figures now in the first half already. Wilson gets it off. That one is no good, but the rebound torn down by Cortez Sawyer, and he's fouled as he goes for the putback. So we're going to head back to the line. Sawyer leaves that one short. Wilson checks out. DeMarquise Henry going to replace him. Next one is also no good. Rebound, though, handled by Cortez Sawyer, who was at the line. So Cary-Grove unable to box him out. Three-pointer on the way. It's good. Rod Henry Hayes strikes for 3. 36-16, 20-point advantage now for Zion-Benton. Cary-Grove dribbling through, taking it all the way and through traffic, throwing it up is Selski, no good. And Zion-Benton going to bring it back the opposite direction. Three-pointer on the way for Nick Bradley, and he hits it. 39-16 now the score. Zion-Benton with the lead. Selski going to run it up the floor. Almost loses the handle on it. Dribbling around with the right hand in the corner. A little bit too much. It goes out of bounds. And with 2:10 left, Zion-Benton going to bring it right to left again, wearing that maroon and white. Another substitution. Cortez Sawyer is coming out, and a new face, Josh Meeks, checks in for the ZBs. They've got Josh listed as a 6'5" sophomore. Zion-Benton has a combination of decent size And the speedy guard play as well. Got one of the Trojans down on the floor, may have twisted the knee. It's the second time we've seen this in as many games, as a guy kind of get caught up in traffic and then fall down with a twisted ankle or a knee. And that's Jimmy Clark. He's going to kind of jump off, and Adam Locke is going to replace him. Locke, one of the starters, as well as Jimmy Clark. So they will seek a trainer and see if they can get Jimmy Clark some help. 39-16. 23-point advantage for Zion-Benton, as things are kind of quiet here at Jacobs High School. Post play, first shot off by Meeks, is no good. Quinn Selski with it. He's done most of the ball handling. Gets it over to Basdor. Basdor trying to find somebody. Flip it up to Schmidt. Schmidt, low post, fouled. Not sure it was in the act of shooting. We'll find out. Doesn't matter. Both teams in the bonus. Anthony Davidson commits the foul. And Dan Schmidt, the dominant scoring threat for Cary-Grove, is going to go to the line. He's got 13 points with a chance to add. That first one rattles around. More substitutions for Zion-Benton. Ryan Green is going to head into the game. First time that I've seen Green so far. And with a 23-point cushion, why not? Get some other guys a look out there. Nehemiah Wilson also into the game. Schmidt able to land the second free throw. DeMarquise Henry's got it. right, coming out of the halftime break, there'll be a fresh 8 up on the clock. It is the Zion-Benton ZBs leading the Cary-Grove Trojans by that 20-point margin, 42-22. ZBs are going to start things off by inbounding. We'll let you know some of the different faces and names that are in there. Right now it's Josh Sobecki slapping it and giving it to the starting point guard for this game, Deshaun Wilson. Deshaun's got 10 points so far. Seen a couple of alley-oop dunks as we have some quick interior play, and Keenan Baltimore throws it off of the glass for his 7th point of the afternoon. Cary-Grove has just had a tough time getting anything going. A lot of times just trying to get it across the half-court line has been a challenge. They did come out with pretty good energy in this game. Let's see what kind of adjustment they're going to make after coming out of that halftime locker room. Quinn Selski gets it into 32, Dan Schmidt. Schmidt has got 16 points. Deshaun Wilson quickly up the floor. He doesn't give anybody a lot of time. Nice over-the-head lob pass, but the shot is no good from Sobecki. Schmidt with it again, dribbling with the right hand. He'll shoot it with the left. Locke is also in there. Cary-Grove controlling things a bit more right now. Just inside the three-point arc is Chris Walther, and he drains it. It's back to that 18-point margin now. Keenan Baltimore lays it up, no good. The putback, also no good. Rebound taken down by Schmidt. Baltimore with 2 good looks, but unable to put him in. Locke, far side, fling it now to the near side. Back to Walther. That one is short. DeMarquise Henry gets it up the floor to Jalen Ray. And an offensive foul called against Ray. .6:22 left here in the third quarter. Next game is going to feature a couple of familiar foes in the Prairie Ridge Wolves taking on those Huntley Red Raiders. Beaugereau has got it. Out by center circle, picks up the dribble. Gets it to Locke. Locke, near side Selski. Selski switches it up, gets into the lane, dishes it off to Bazdor, and for 3 in the corner, no good. Thought Selski had a pretty good look. The putback by Bazdor is no good. Schmidt battling, gets it up, and he's fouled. And Schmidt is going to head to the line for 2. Dan Schmidt has got 16 points this afternoon. All but 10 of his team's points. There's a good look at Dan at the free throw line. He lets it go. That one rattles around. It's no good. Substitution now. Just one sub, I'm sorry. Nick Bradley checks back in for the maroon and white in those ZBs. Schmidt's next one is good. He's got 17. Quickly up the floor and a nice lay-in there by Jalen Ray. Zion-Benton team is just so fast. Into the middle part of the lane, Selski, kick it out near side, Locke. Top of the key, Schmidt, dribble drive, in, gets a man up in the air, it's blocked by Sobecki. Here we go the other way, Keenan Baltimore gives it away, nice suspended layup there as Nick Bradley hung in the air. Bradley's got 5, Zion-Benton opening it up again. They're up by 21 for 3 in the corner, and it's good. Adam Locke gets into the scoring column for the first time and unable to get back on defense, and another quick layup, Jalen Ray. Zion-Benton just doing a great job of exposing teams when they're unable to get back quickly enough on defense. Deshaun Wilson commits the foul up here near the scorer's table. Jalen Ray checks out. And Rod Henry Hayes back into the game. Hayes has got 5 points. Bounce pass to Schmidt. Locke has pretty good handles. Gets it off far side, now back down in the corner. Schmidt looking for it. It's going to creep his way closer to the lane. And a foul away from the ball. Keenan Bradley clapping his hands. Apparently collision down in there, and a little bit more than what should have been results. Deshaun Wilson Jr., uncommitted, the fine point guard for Zion-Benton. Flips it up and over. Keenan Baltimore easy off the glass. And that one's good. Keenan Baltimore's got 9. Cary-Grove just getting caught left and right, not seeing the basketball, getting back quick enough on defense. All things I'm sure they can improve on as Basdor makes his way up, puts it up with the right, a little bit too soft, it's no good. Here comes Wilson. Wilson with the spin move, kicks it out inadvertently, and now into the hands of Rod Henry Hayes. Keenan Baltimore, spin move off the glass, does it go? It does, but they say he traveled instead. 4:03 left in the quarter. John Walsh checks into the game to give Quinn Selski a little bit of a breather. 4:01 on the moving clock. Cary-Grove in the white and navy blue have trailed all game. They are down by 22. Zion-Benton, a speedy team, a savvy team. If they see a weakness or see something they can expose, they'll do it to you, and they just keep doing it until you make a change or you make some sort of adjustment. The ZBs are 2-0 in this tournament, 5-1 on the season. Deshaun Wilson through traffic, kicks it out. Going to be a three-pointer on the way. That one is good. Nick Bradley strikes for 3. He's got 8 points this afternoon. And Cary-Grove is going to slow the pace down just a bit with 3:17 on a running clock. Bounce pass, Basdor. Basdor going to dribble it in, has it taken away by Baltimore. Baltimore with the left-handed dribble. Slows things up. Gets it back to Rod Henry Hayes. Deshaun Wilson's going to back things off and restart the offense. Spin move up with the right hand. Pops, no good. Rebound by Sawyer. Ball was loose down on the floor. Gets it up, does Rod Henry Hayes. That shot also no good. And Schmidt is able to take advantage and finally take control of the loose ball. 2:41, clock still moving. John Walsh gets it to Basdor, back to Locke. Locke to Walsh. Walsh going to take it with the left hand, retreating again from the basket. Most of the dribbling taking place for Cary-Grove has been beyond the arc. Here's Schmidt, little fadeaway with the left hand, up and over, no good. Here comes Wilson. Wilson not seeing an opportunity to expose anything right away, decides to pull back on the reins and slow things down. Far side, Wilson's got it again, waiting for something to happen. On the switch, Hayes has got it now. Top of the key extended, dribbles between the legs. Back over to Wilson. Wilson's got it. Behind the back pass, that one's picked off. In the air, off the glass is no good. Schmidt nearly had the rebound. The shot that time by John Walsh, no good. Hayes gonna slow things down and ironically give it to a quicker player in Deshaun Wilson. Whistle and a timeout by Zion-Benton. Looks like it's going to be a 30-second timeout, a 25-point advantage for Zion-Benton, who, as I said, is 2-0 in this tournament. They're 5-1 overall in the season. And should this continue through the next minute and a half and the subsequent 8-minute quarter in the fourth, they're going to improve to 6-1. And the Trojans will suffer their 10th loss of the season and their 3rd loss in the tournament. Cary-Grove was playing a little bit sharper the other day when I had a chance to see them, and I had mentioned earlier in the broadcast that their overall record of 2-9, not indicative of how I thought they could play. But as of right now, they haven't proven otherwise. They do have guys on the team that can score, no question about it, notably Dan Schmidt. He's got 17 points, but one player a team does not make. We know that, especially in the upper levels. NBA, it's almost a prerequisite that you've got at least 2 stars on the team and then a supporting cast. High school, if you've got a lot of evenly matched, talented players that can play as a team, that's usually a recipe for success. And Zion-Benton is kind of showing that off as they've got 9 different guys in the scoring column on their side of things. That ball is thrown off the knee of Cortez Sawyer, who, by the way, has brought some of the high-flying act today. He's got 2 alley-oop dunks in the first half. Pretty exciting to watch. And if you're watching live now, we certainly appreciate that. Maybe you came to the game, maybe you played in the game, and you want to watch the game again. Thanks for being here on the Hinkle Holiday Classic channel. Tournament coming your way from Jacobs High School in Algonquin, Illinois. The host school, the Golden Eagles, will play later on tonight at 7:30 on this December 22nd. We're just 3 days away from Christmas. This tournament will conclude on the 26th. All these teams vying for pool position, if you will, to see who they'll match up against and to see who will come home with hardware. Going into a delay as Locke launches from 3. It rolls around, it's no good, and that's going to give the ZBs one more chance at it. Up and trying to get up enough to dunk was number 22, Anthony Davidson, but he wisely lays it in. He was just short that time. Not enough of a sprint maybe to get up as high as he would have liked. But as I said, we've seen a couple of dunks here today. Cortez Sawyer showing the air off a little bit. Walsh is going to reset things, nearly has it stripped away. Ryan Green is checked back in there for Zion-Benton, and the last second shot by number 33 for Cary-Grove, Joe Iverson, is no good. So at the end of 3 quarters of play, it is still the Zion-Benton ZBs ahead with a wide margin, up 27. It's 57-30. Let's take a short break, and when we come back, the exciting 4th quarter conclusion of this game number 19 of the tournament. Game 20 coming up after this. It's going to be Prairie Ridge against a familiar foe in Huntley High School. We'll be back in just a second. All right, we're back, fresh 8 up on the clock on the scoreboard, 57-30. ZBs with the wide advantage right now. Cary-Grove not playing all that well. So as a coach, what do you do when your team's not playing that well? I think most coaches will tell you that when things don't go your way and they don't go to plan, the only thing you can do is teach. You talk to your guys on the bench, you talk to your starters, you talk to the guys that are out there on the floor when you have a chance, and you coach them up and you try to teach as best as you can. And anybody that's a coach knows when your team's not playing that well, you're right there with them. There's no good feeling when your team has worked hard in practice and it just doesn't result to much of success when you're out there on the floor. So as a coach, I think you just do your best to teach as best as you can. And watching from where I'm at up here at Coach Schutzel, I hope, Coach, I'm saying your name right. He is really doing his darndest to draw things up on the board and really encourage his guys to kind of stick with the plan and do what he knows they can do and do what he knows that they've done in practice so many times this winter. Shot off the glass is no good. Rebound controlled by Anthony Davidson. Now, on the other hand, if your coach Cloth, who's got this Zion-Benton team, who's going to improve to 6-1, has tremendous speed and so many tools to use, as that three-point attempt is no good. And I don't want to sound like I'm preaching too much here, but when you've got a team that's playing as well as Zion-Benton is in this tournament, I think you're going to try to do anything you can to, A, maintain the energy, maintain the winning attitude. Because the last thing you want is your team to, you know, start playing to the level of not only the other team, but a lower expectation, as there's a foul on the floor before that shot. Another substitution as number 44, Nehemiah Wilson's going to come back in for Zion-Benton. The other thing is now you're getting a chance to get other players out there on the floor, guys that may not play in some of the big conference games unless it's a blowout in one direction or the other. And now you're getting guys down there on the floor that are getting a chance to get some varsity experience, which is nice. You know, a lot of times when you play non-conference game, especially in other sports, not so much in football. Football schedules are, you know, so quick. You don't get a whole lot of games to play, and you get to play one game a week. But basketball, baseball, sports that play more than one game a week, as we've got a nice pass there and a nice cut to the basket as Zach Beaugereau scores his 5th point of the game. But when you get an opportunity to get other guys in the game and get that experience and use those non-conference games as a barometer for maybe a direction that you'll go in next year, especially if you're getting underclassmen out there, I think that's particularly important. And as we know, these sports now, these athletes that decide to play just one sport, it becomes a year-round sport for them. And a lot of times for coaches, too. You've got summer league games that you're working on. You've got conditioning in the fall. So, yeah, your basketball season goes what? You figure November, and if you get into March, you're lucky. Got a 4 or 5 month sprint right there. 4 or 5 months baloney. These coaches are at it most of the year trying to develop, and again, the key word, teach the players and get them into a system where they can be successful. 5:46, still a 25-point lead for Zion-Benton. 3-point attempt on the way, rattles around, no good. Rebound kicked and then finally taken down by Cary-Grove. Quick interior pass to Schmidt. Schmidt gets it up off the glass. It's no good. He looked for a foul, didn't get it. Nehemiah Wilson with the rebound. Hayes has got it right now. Bounce pass, high post to Cortez Sawyer. Get it back to Nick Bradley. And Green with a nice pass down underneath. Up to Nehemiah Wilson, and it's good. Give Ryan Green the assist and Nehemiah Wilson the bucket. 59-32. There are no starters left on the floor for Zion-Benton, so again, supporting cast getting a chance now to be seen. 2-point basket there for Cary-Grove. Inching his way in, Rod Henry Hayes. 11 different players have scored for Zion-Benton this afternoon, so there's definitely been a shift change and a different cast of characters out there as Green's got it right now. Gets it over to Nick Bradley. Green will retreat. Bradley's got it, having trouble getting rid of it. Off the fingertips via the bounce pass to Nehemiah Wilson. It goes out of bounds, and the Trojans going to have it with 4:28 here left in the game. Danny Clark comes out. Schmidt still in there. For three, way back. No good. Green nearly comes up with the rebound, only to have the ball bounced off his shins, and Cary-Grove will save it on this side as Quinn Selski with pretty good court awareness there. Bounced it off his shin. Cortez Sawyer checks out. Nice little left-handed floater there by Dan Schmidt is good. Schmidt has now got 19 in the game. His team down by 22. Rod Henry Hayes, little scissors dribble, top of the key, bounce it, cuts to the right. Hayes back again for three. That one bounces off the back part. It's no good, and Schmidt comes down with the rebound. Here comes Cary-Grove. Schmidt is going to eye that three-pointer, steps in, has it blocked from about 16 out. Green ends up with it, looks up the floor, gets it to Meeks. Meeks will hand it off to Rod Hayes. Rod Henry Hayes gets points 6 and 7 on the basket, and I believe he's going to head to the line. He does. It's going to be an and one opportunity for Rod Henry Hayes. Hayes has got 7 points, and he looks to add to it right now with this free throw. He completes the and one, the trifecta right there. He's got 8 on the afternoon, 62-37. An entire 5 players going to be substituted here in just a moment for Cary-Grove as Schmidt uses the bank board and gets it in. It's good. 21 points now for Dan Schmidt. High post for Wilson. Nick Bradley nearly has it taken away. Now for three. That one is no good. Rebound taken down by Meeks. Meeks will put it back up off the back of the rack. No good, but the putback by Hayes is good. Good athleticism there for Rod Henry Hayes. Going to be a timeout for Cary-Grove, and an entire new cast is going to be subbed in for the Trojans. Cary-Grove wearing the white and navy, as we've mentioned several times throughout the broadcast. You get a chance to see Zion-Benton right there. Coach Cloth. The ZB's doing a great job of getting a lot of different personnel into the game, and as I had said, getting some guys some varsity experience. Well, they have a tremendous advantage scoring-wise. Right now, they're up by 25 points, 2:56 remain here in this game. The Hinkle Holiday Classic brought to you by Meyer. It's been me, Ben Erickson, with all the play-by-play action coming your way. And student video production and media production personnel from South Elgin High School putting this entire game together. We got the replay machine going a game ago, and we've seen a couple of those alley-oop dunks. Maybe before the end of this broadcast, we can put a couple of those together and relive some of that excitement as Cortez Sawyer and his high-flying act finished 2 good alley-oop dunks in this game. 64-39, 2:56 remain. Next game, we'll be handing it off to Alec Giannakopoulos, who had 3 games for you yesterday. And then tonight, the old pro, Jeff Myers, will come in and do some games and work with this high school crew. Basdor's got it, high post. Hands it off to John Walsh. Basdor for 3. No good. Off the front part. Rebound handled and taken down by Josh Meeks. Nick Bradley will do the honors. Bradley, near side, Green, get it up and in is Meeks. That shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Randy Basdor for the Cary-Grove Trojans. Looking to get it to Walsh, he does. Walsh across half court. Walsh with the dribble, looking for 3. Doesn't take it, gives it off to Danny Clark. Now down into the low baseline post. The shot is no good. Joe Iverson's still out there. The putback and tip in by Nehemiah Wilson is good. Nehemiah Wilson's got 4 points. Getting some added minutes here in this game. 1:40 left, a whistle and a body on the floor. Fouls on number 10, Rod Henry Hayes, as it was Chris Johansson ending up on the floor. They're gonna stack it up, is Cary-Grove. Danny Clark with it, gets it over far side, Johansson. Back to Clark, Clark for 3, that one's good. Dan Clark drains one, gets in the scoring column. It's now 66-42, cut the lead some. From way back and for 3, that one is good. Nick Bradley connects. 69-42 now. Some of the supporting cast getting some pretty good scoring numbers now, especially for Zion-Benton. Clark for 3, that one's no good. It bounces up, bounces around, rebound taken down by Wilson. Wilson gets it up the floor to Green. Ryan Green's got 3 points in this one. Rod Hayes, kick it out, another long 3 on the way by Bradley, and that one's good. Bradley feeling it. That's his 4th 3-point field goal in this game. It's now 72-42. Zion-Benton has opened things up considerably here with a 30-point lead. Walsh is going to have it, top of the key extended. Almost picks up the feet and travels. And a tap foul called on the hot shooting Nick Bradley. Nick Bradley's got 14 points in this game, including 4 3-pointers. Going to send Walsh to the line, just 27.5 seconds left here in this one. It's on the way, a high floating free throw shot it is for John Walsh. Walsh listed as a 5'9" senior. little discussion by the officials there. Not exactly certain what they were discussing, but the next one on the way here is good. John Walsh, 2 for 2 from the line. Now here comes Nick Bradley, who's been shooting out the lights here in the fourth quarter. To slow things down for the last 19 seconds. I'd be surprised if Zion-Benton takes another shot, as they are going to try to run out the clock as best as they can. Rod Henry Hayes with it, back to Bradley. 8 seconds to Bradley. 2, and you'll hear the buzzer there. It is the Zion-Benton ZBs improving to 6-1 and 3-0 in the tournament. Cary-Grove goes to 2-10 and 0-3 in the tournament. Tell you what, let me add up all the scoring, let you know who did what here in just a moment. We'll be back with the post game in just a second. 2, 3, 2, 14, 16, 7. Had 1, Chris Walther with 2, Adam Locke with 3, Quinn Selski with 2, Alex Bear with 2, Zach Bogereau had 5, Danny Clark with 3, John Walsh with 2, and leading his team in scoring, Dan Schmidt had 21. For the victorious ZBs of Zion-Benton High School, Deshaun Wilson, the fine point guard, with 10, Jalen Ray with 4, DeMarquise Henry had 5, Keenan Baltimore with 9, Josh Sobecki with 2, Rod Henry Hayes had 10, Cortez Sawyer, a pair of dunks off the alley-oop, had 4. Anthony Davidson with 2. Ryan Green with 3. Nehemiah Wilson with 4. And leading his team in scoring was Nick Bradley. So you look at the score sheet there, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 different players scored for Zion-Benton. And that really was the story of the game. A balanced offensive attack, a smothering defense, lightning quick guard, a couple of guys that can really leap and jump, and some great shooting as well down the stretch for Zion-Benton. So that's the end of this one here. Repeating that final 72-44, Zion-Benton with a commanding lead. We're going to make our way on to game number 20 here at the Hinkle Holiday Classic. It's going to feature 2 familiar foes, and it wouldn't be surprising to me if this gym fills up a little bit more. It is the Prairie Ridge Wolves against the Huntley Red Raiders. We'll be back with more games for you right after this. You're watching the Hinkle Holiday Classic, sponsored by Meijer.